Welcome. I hope your belief in the law of attraction is growing. And today we're going to talk about why controlling the way you think is the most powerful tool that you can use when you're trying to manifest specific outcomes, positive outcomes into your life. So, the concept of being in charge of what you think, being able to control your thoughts in order to manifest good things into your life, is pretty much the backbone of the law of attraction or the law of assumption, conscious manifesting, however you want to think about it. The principle basically suggests that, positive thoughts can bring positive outcomes, and negative thoughts can sometimes lead to negative outcomes. So before I give you, 5 different ways that you can start to learn how to control the way you think, all right, I just want to share with you that I wasn't always able to control my thoughts the way I can today. See, the way we think is actually the difference maker. You can do a whole bunch of techniques, but if your thinking is negative, if you're always cynical about certain things, if you don't believe things are possible for you and they're only possible for people that have certain circumstances that are quote unquote going their way, it doesn't really matter what technique you do. They're not going to work because somewhere deep down, that negative thinking is really teaching you to believe that things aren't possible for you. And it's so important to think positively, right? That's one of the first things that you want to start to do more often is try to force it. If you're not naturally a positive thinker, which I would say that I wasn't at one point, right? And again, I still have times when I'm not, but I catch it and I change it. And I've noticed that that's a huge difference maker because, what you think is essentially praying for what you want. So if you think positively, if you think of positive outcomes, if you think that things are possible for you, that's going to bring those things closer to you, right? That's what manifests things into your life, right? When you think negatively, I'm not sure who it was, but I heard somebody say that, thinking negatively is essentially praying for what you don't want to happen. Okay, and we don't have to get into, if you're manifesting all the bad things in your life or not. I don't think that's important because I think that as soon as you start to notice when you do think negatively and change that and think more positively, that's when you're going to notice the biggest changes in your life. Everything just starts to fall into place. So the second thing that you can do, the first thing is just obviously what I mentioned is try to stay positive. The majority of the time, think of positive outcomes, maintain that optimistic outlook, and catch yourself whenever, nobody's perfect. Everybody has negative thoughts or pessimistic thoughts, cynical thoughts. The key is that when you do have those thoughts, catch yourself and notice it, and then try to change it and see the positive. The second thing that is going to help getting you to control your thoughts is to practice visualization. And visualization is not only a technique used to manifest, Neville Goddard's SATS method and a number of different manifestation techniques use visualization. But the more you do it, it's actually going to get you to start controlling how you think when you're not visualizing, right? So you can use visualization as a tool to get you to think more positively in your everyday life throughout the day, okay? Because you're going to be picturing certain scenarios in your head that are going the way that you want them to go and not the other way around. And if you are a cynical thinker and you think that certain things aren't possible for you, visualizing your success is the first step getting there. Visualizing your success can help make it feel more real and more attainable. The other thing I would say is, and you hear this word a lot, gratitude, but it's so true that regularly, expressing gratitude can, really shift your focus from the things that you think you're lacking, to the things that you actually have in your life. And, focusing on all that is going to not only improve your mindset and get you thinking more positively, but the more you think about gratitude, right, the more you focus on how much you have in life, the universe just recognizes that. And it's like, all right, you want more of that, right? So it's like, it's the same as if you think negative, bad things are going to happen. If you think about that gratitude and think about what you have, constantly thankful for what you have, the universe is saying, all right, here's some more of that. Here's some more of that. It's like, I acknowledge that you like that. Here's some more of that. And that's essentially how it works. I mean, I've seen it in my own life. And anybody that talks about manifestation, the law of attraction, will tell you that gratitude is the key to attracting more things into your life and stepping away from that lack mindset. Another thing that you can do is obviously affirmations, right? And you can use positive affirmations to reinforce ideas and goals into your head, or things that you want in your life. The positive affirmations work really well. I find when you start to think negatively, and remember when I talked about catching it, right? So you're starting to think negatively, and then you catch that and you notice it. Then a positive affirmation, maybe you say it for like a minute or 5 minutes, can really get you to stop thinking negatively and start to imprint that new positive belief. So I really believe in using affirmations this way. And finally, meditation or mindfulness is going to be a practice that is going to help you in so many ways. But when it comes to controlling your thoughts, meditation is going to be one of the best things that you can do, right, to become more aware of how you're thinking. You might not think that you're, thinking negatively most of the time, but then when you meditate and you start to, have the thoughts come and go, right? You notice a thought and you let it go. Then you can really start to notice what kind of thoughts you're having. And it's that awareness again that you do in meditation that is going to make you better at catching that when you're not meditating. So when you're just walking around, when you're living life and you subconsciously or automatically start thinking negatively, you're going to be able to catch it quickly because you've been doing that in meditation, right? So it's training you to catch your negative thought pattern and change it. And the more you do that again and substitute your cynical thinking, your negative thinking, pessimistic thinking with your positive mindset and positive thoughts, the quicker your manifestations are going to come to you. The easier it's going to be to use manifestation techniques, right? So all these things, you can use however you like, right? If you're more of a visualizer than somebody who likes to use affirmations, then do that, right? These are just different things that you can do. But the focus here is not the technique, right? The focus is using the technique to change the way that you're thinking, to control your thoughts, right? And the better you get at controlling your thoughts, the more you're going to see things open up for you. And it's going to go so far beyond just trying to manifest a specific thing. You're just going to notice things come to you, like outcomes that you didn't even think of that you want to happen. Nice, good, positive outcomes are just going to start happening for you, right? You don't want to be that person that, walks through life and is just like, oh, this never works for me, and says things like, of course that happens to me. As soon as you cut that out, you're going to notice that all the things that you do want are going to start coming to you. When it comes to manifesting love in your life, I've received some messages from people saying, I hope I finally find my SP, or I'm having trouble finding my SP and nothing ever seems to work, or I always find the wrong people. And if you catch yourself saying those things, right, I always find the wrong people, or I hope that, I don't think I'll ever find my SP, things like that, or I don't think I'll ever find love in my life, however you want to say it. These are negative thoughts, right? And the more you say those things, or the more you think those things, the more you're attracting that into your life. The goal is to just change that completely. Just be confident in what you want. See what you want. Control the thoughts. And again, it can be easier said than done, right? And I wasn't always a positive thinker. But the more you work on it, the easier it becomes. And the more you're going to see great things come into your life. I hope this helps.